Yeah. So we're in Alaska, guys. This is the glacier that starts with an M, and I should know how to pronounce that, but I want to say today is either day 136 or 137. It's New Year's, which anyone who knows me knows that I don't give a lot of specific emphasis to New Year's other than time's an illusionary. It's not real. It doesn't matter for shit. And it's the construct that we use to keep in sync with each other, which is all good and well. On a society level, our calendars and time tracking is super important, and having like a annual celebration for a new year means a lot more from a community standpoint, where you're reassessing the intricacies of the relationships and what's happened between and within communities over the time 1 year. But yeah, that was a little bit of tangent. I just because you know how I feel about talking about time. Anyway, something super interesting. I was not expecting to find as much community here, at least like a welcoming community in Alaska. Not to say that I honestly had no expectations one way or the other, but for me, it being so cold and that being a huge detractor in terms of my ability to operate, ironically, I zipped on my jacket because even though it's cold, there's no wind, so as there's no cold breeze like blowing against you, making you feel cold. At least here, there's lots of cold breezes down in town and stuff. So back to the point of the community that I've met here. One of the revelations that I made because of this whole experience has been that it's been interesting to see the manifestation of my soul and value as a person, given the people and environments I've been around in the different states that I've been to so far. And I was thinking about how my videos are different across different time periods and, sequences of events in specific states. And I was like, one of the things that I'm not doing as much of right now is taking pictures with people. And for sure, I love taking pictures with people because, one, I'm bad with names and faces, and pictures help 100% with that. And two, because my memory is bad too, pictures helps you to remember things, and it gives you a lot more of a trigger to remember stuff than if you were just trying to think of the memory or idea in your head. But I haven't been taking as many pictures with people, and I honestly think that like variations in my vlogging style in that sense has been due to me transforming as a person to operate in the environments that I'm operating in. And I guess one of my biggest things that I've been working to overcome, right, is my social anxiety and just interactions with people. And 100%, it's a lot better. There's definitely a factor of how welcome you feel and how much you're able to connect with people. But beyond actual like fit between people, between souls and energy at that point, the specific style in which you manifest is 100% related to the energy that you're sharing with the people that you're interacting with. And there's a point in all of that. I feel like I'm dancing around the point, but hopefully you guys can like piece the point together. And I guess just going back to the vlogging style, I think it'll be interesting to see at the end of the trip how many different styles I ended up being a part of, essentially, and how much of the community that I'm in that reflects versus how much it was me just growing as well. So It's interesting. I wanted you guys to see how blue the glacier is, but it's really hard. I think it's picking up a little bit in the camera, but like nothing like how it is in real person. I had a very interesting conversation with a new friend I made, Isaac, and we were talking about the goal that I have in life, or one of the ways in which the goal, I've described the goal essentially, which is given two communities, or any number of communities, but let's just say two communities, that have their own styles, their own values, the things that they care about, and they're perfectly fine within their communities. The whole thing I'm trying to solve is, as a world of varying communities, cultures, and people, how do we get these systems, groups, communities to have a healthy relationship with each other and not expect other people to be a certain way, right? And on an individual level, it's much easier to explain in the sense of like how I live my life, right? Anyone can be anything. I don't judge them. I don't treat them any differently. I change my interactions with them depending on how much we are able to connect and what we need from each other, what we want from each other, and what just happens whether we want, need, or like it at all, right? And being respectful of someone else and being supportive of someone else is a lot easier to do on an individual level. Like, you can control your reactions to everything that you're taking in, but as soon as that number increases by just one, there's the dynamic gets way too complicated and complex, and it's hard to balance all of the variables in that sense, versus just one person kind of taking it all on by themselves. It's not about forcing people to align themselves to a specific value proposition or way of expressing yourself. One of the more complex examples that I can say about this is, let's say a person really loves connection, right? And they really they go down the street, say hi to everyone. They're expecting people to interact with them the same level that they're interacting with everyone else. And in that sense, it's hard to get the person to change their expectation of how they want other people to be towards them. You essentially can't do that, right? There's absolutely no solution where that person doesn't change by themselves. Hi. Oh, you left me already? I have a new friend in the background. I got distracted. And that's what he was trying to say, essentially, is that because there's gonna be situations like that where you can't solve it, the larger problem of getting communities to respect and coexist together is intractable, I want to say it as a word, maybe, as well. So I think there's still hope. I think it's possible to have a framework where, like, if there's a community of people that really love that level of interaction with other people, it's possible to facilitate that. Have a healthy relationship, whether it's like having a close bond or not. Like, you can have a healthy relationship that's not super close with someone. And like, one of the critiques that I've gotten doing my vlogging as well is that I share too much information. And I don't expect other people to share anything they don't want to share. But I think the whole point is that there's two conflicting thoughts in my head. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to say. The amount that I'm sharing is separate from the depth that I'm sharing and the ability that someone has to know me as a person, given what I'm sharing. So I think just the fact that some people think I'm sharing too much, and I know, given based off of what I'm sharing, people can't understand me to the level that they think that they are. There's an ability that we have to have a healthier relationship through that process of sharing. And like, I feel like the other thought that was like going into the conflicting nature is that like sharing and language and communication in general is our ability to transfer energy between each other. And what that means, practically speaking, is the relationship we're able to have with people, right? We, as humans, don't have the ability in our current state and form to understand anything other than what's inside of our heads, or inside of our thought processes, inside of our mind, intellect, spiritual being. Given that restriction, finding ways to exchange, share, and augment each other's energies is super important, and that defines the success of a civilization in my book. As we all know, all great civilizations have come to an end over the time of our history, ancient history, recent history. There's not a single country who's had the ability to communicate well enough to solve their own internal struggles and also coexist with other cultures that are always evolving and growing in tandem. Maybe it's a flawed system of what I'm trying to do in terms of it's an imperfect solution to a problem that is inherent in the nature of operating in this world. But I feel like it's definitely an idealistic type of thing, right? And just, I don't know, there's something driving me to like want to do more with that, and specifically with technology having so much impact on the information and energy that we're sharing with each other. It's a very sensitive problem going into the future, because the amount of variation and chaos and volatility that we have experienced thus far is only going to be amplified by technology if we don't find a better way of communicating, right? And there's always been a wealth of information, and that's grown exponentially over the years. Every new person adds to that equation. I don't know how exactly exponentially it is, but it's definitely of exponential nature, right? I feel like everyone's making their way to the glacier for I don't know what reason, so I'm gonna stop here. The sun's almost gonna set. I didn't finish the thought, but there is enough there that I think is worth it for right now. And I don't have a golf club because I couldn't bring it on the plane with me, / I didn't want to check it to bring with me. And the sports equipment store that would have had it is closed today because it's New Year's, and today was the best day to do this, given that I have to work for the rest of the week, and it's just a lot of things going on. So I'm not going to be able to hit a ball in Alaska and on the trip, but I will do something else special. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll catch you guys when I catch you. So it's your boy Nakumia signing off.